Hey, it's Adam from Boston Automations. We're here in the south end of Boston at this beautiful Brownstone. We're going to take you through a walk of our client's home to review the technology that we installed. So now we're walking into the kitchen and we're going to discuss some of the features that we installed here. So one of the requests by the homeowners was to keep it simple. We're seeing this request more and more from families who want to have a simple ecosystem on their cell phone and very few apps and just do the minimal things to make their life easier. So what we have in here in the kitchen that we're going to talk about are the Palladium shades. So these shades are a 3% fabric, which is going to let light into the room, but still provide enough privacy at nighttime so people cannot see in at night. If we notice what we did in this space, because we have the mullions here, we're able to separate into 3 shades, and what we did is called coupling. So these brackets in between couple the shades so they all work together and they fall down together. So if we did close this, it would be absolutely silent, because that's the great thing about Palladium is there's no noise, and they would come down and give that privacy at night. So now we're going to look at the frame TV in the dining room. So this piece here was requested as the ability to match the art around the space, but also have a television that the family could watch when they're in the kitchen, dining with the family, or hanging out. So what we put in here is a frame TV. Behind the TV is the One Connect box, which then controls everything. So it's a nice, beautiful install, very minimalistic, but still gives them the entertainment piece that they look at. One other thing that we're now doing is a frame TV from Sony, and that's in collaboration with Leon speakers. So we actually have 2 options to provide families because it's such a popular product now. Other things worth mentioning is that we were also asked to do lighting design in this space. So working with our lighting design team, we provide a schedule for the builder and we can specify lights that work out. So they requested a square trim and high-end lighting that can be used on their Lutron system. And if we spin around this way, one thing worth mentioning is that we are at the ground level with the street, so the fabric that we had to choose in this space had to have less opacity, so you can't see through it as much. So this is called a -3%, which means that you just can't see quite as much when people are driving by, and it also blocks that sunset that's coming through here because it is extremely bright nearing the end of the day. So now we're entering the parlor space, which is also the TV entertainment room. And as we come into here, the family had a specific request to have surround sound in this room, but also be minimalistic. So what we provided was a Sony television with a Sonos Arc soundbar. Since design is so important to us, one thing that we wanted to focus on was keeping the TV inside the trim on the wall. So everything blends and the lines all match really well together. So that whole thing worked out beautifully. And if we look at our ceiling, we wanted surround sound up in the ceiling here. So now we have a full 5.1 surround sound system in this room, and it's all connected into Sonos, which allows the family to play TV in here, music in here, and even what's really cool is if the game is on this television, they can send it to any other room in the house. They can hear the game playing everywhere. And if we look at the wall, in this room, we had to bring the light down because the TV's in this and we didn't want too much glare. So once again, we went with the Palladium shades with our anodized black bracket up top, and we kept this at a 1% fabric. So when this comes down, you can barely see shadows through the fabric. This allows privacy and less glare on TVs and also gives a beautiful look and a little finishing touch to the room. So phase 1 of this project involved getting the lights on and ready to operate. Phase 2 is going to be installing our Palladium keypads throughout the house. So a keypad is essentially a light switch on the wall that has scenes. So rather than on and off, this will do things such as entertain, dine, relax, watch a movie, good morning, goodbye. There's many different options in here. So in this particular room, we could have watch TV and then something will happen in this room where the shades go down, the TV comes on, and everything switches over for them. On the bottom of our keypads, you have the option to do raise and lower. So this could be raise and lower the lights, the shades, or volume, whatever your preference is. So that's the Palladium keypad, which also comes in many different colors. So we can match any existing Lutron faceplate. We can also do glass, metal, and a variety of different tones that we'd like. And if someone really wants a custom color, then we can have a custom color made. So now we're going to discuss the Pico keypad. What's great about the Pico is it's very powerful, but also very small. We can have these sitting on nightstands in a bedroom, a table in a dining room, or on a counter in the kitchen. What's good about the Pico is the Lutron app is extremely powerful, but not everyone has their phone next to them at all times. So there are features that you can program into the Pico. So this is a shade that does open, close, up, down, and a favorite. So we'll see how fast this reacts. So when I hit close on here, the shades are going to go into the app. They're instantly going to tell the shades to close, and then they will close. I can hit the favorite button to stop them, and then we'll see the shades stop. One other thing to point out with these shades is that you can get reverse roll and regular roll with shades. A regular roll comes down the back, and that will allow it to fall tight to the window. In an old 1800s brownstone where we have these curved window casings, there was just no way to have a standard roll. So what we did is we did a reverse, which comes down on the front side of the roll and brings the shade a little bit out from the glass, but allows it to fit perfectly, and you're still hiding all of the glass in the shade. So you get the best of both worlds, and you get a perfect Palladium shade that is nearly silent. So we're nearing the end of our tour, and the part of our house where the magic happens is the AV rack. This is sometimes called the head end, the brain, the controller, but what's behind here is what's running the home. Unfortunately, it's a storage area in a brownstone, which is what we typically run into in old buildings in Boston, so it's too tight of a space to film. But what we should really focus on is that every house that has technology moving forward nowadays is going to have a rack. It's a necessity, and it makes sense in many different ways. One of the reasons is you have everything all in one location. So if anything did stop working or needed an upgrade, you always know where to go. Someone comes in the house, go to the rack. It's no longer the days of crawling under built-in cabinets in the living room. It's full of dust and everyone's complaining about getting hurt and they don't like it. It's go to the rack. So that's our mentality nowadays, and everything will be located inside of there. So if you did look in the rack, you would see things like a backup battery that's going to keep the system online if the power goes out for an hour or 2 hours. It's not a generator, so it's not going to keep you on for weeks, but just enough for that power blip. You'll see routers in there, network switches, controllers for different systems, and other components that will run the house. Generally, a homeowner will never touch the rack. We have remote access, we control it, and we can take care of it from anywhere in the world. So they just leave things behind the door and they don't have to worry about anything. So that's gonna wrap up our tour of this beautiful brownstone in the south end of Boston. If you would like to work with Boston Automations, you can reach out to us at bostonautomations.com. Our email is hello@bostonautomations.com. And just as a reminder, we do both new construction, existing construction, and commercial applications. Thank you very much.